All right, we are coming up on 8 o'clock. So let's go ahead and settle in and get comfortable, shall we? Welcome back. This is our 9th night now of reading from Morte, Arthur. We've had some serious ups and downs lately. Yesterday we really started to get into Sir Tristram's story, as was taken from really Tristram's own myths and legends that have been co-opted into Arthur's coattails. But this one is a lot more tawdry than some others that we've seen so far. And it definitely seems that it's going to get worse before it gets better. So I hope everyone's comfortable and has a stiff drink to hand, because we're in for another night of medieval soap operas, and I wouldn't have it any other way. All right. That is pretty good. Actually mixed something up tonight. It's been a long time since I had a proper cocktail. Found that I actually had some bitters around, and that's just really all you need to make it work, right? Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and jump back where we left off with chapter 26 of Tristram's story. How Sir Tristram fought with Sir Bruenor, and at the last smote off his head. It's a very good question. We never know. We'll be in suspense until we find out. We know there has to be another one. At least one. Now, take thine horse. Sithen I am ladyless, I will win thy lady, and I may. Man just called himself maidenless. Damn. Then they took their horses, and came together as it had been the thunder, and Sir Tristram smote Sir Bruenor clean from his horse, and lightly he rose up. And as Sir Tristram came again by him, he thrust his horse throughout both the shoulders, that his horse hurled here and there, and fell dead to the ground. And ever Sir Bruenor ran after to have slain Sir Tristram, but Sir Tristram was light and nimble, and voided his horse lightly, and or ever Sir Tristram might dress his shield and his sword, the other gave him 3 or 4 sad strokes. Then they rushed together like 2 boars, tracing and traversing mightily and wisely as 2 noble knights. That it was pity that he had so long endured. Thus they fought, hurling here and there, nigh 2 hours, and either were wounded sore. And then, at the last, Sir Bruenor rashed upon Sir Tristram and took him in his arms, for he trusted much in his strength. Then was Sir Tristram called the strongest and the highest knight of the world, for he was called bigger than Sir Launcelot, but Sir Launcelot was better breathed. So anon, Sir Tristram thrust Sir Bruenor down grovelling, and then he unlaced his helm and struck off his head. And then all they that longed to the castle came to him and did him homage and fealty, praying him that he would abide there till still a little while, to fordo that foul custom. Sir Tristram granted thereto. The meanwhile, one of the knights of the castle rode unto Sir Galahad, the haught prince, the which was Sir Bruenor's son, which was a noble knight, and told him what misadventure his father had, and his mother. Well, that is the first time I think that we've seen Galahad mentioned. That's a big name drop for those who are in the know. And as you may remember, as we left off last time, this was all happening at a random little castle off the coast when they'd made the grand voyage from, Ireland to England. That little tiny channel, they got blown off course. Don't ask me how. You can see the other side. You can see it. How do you get lost? You can see it. Anyway. So they found themselves stranded at this castle and were going to put themselves up for the night. But there's a strange custom at this one, where you have a little bit of a pageant between the hostess and the visiting lady, and whichever is uglier loses her head. Not making this shit up. And so Tristram obviously brought the fairer maiden with him. And so just, killed the lady that was at the castle. Because that's what you do when in Rome, right? And then he went and killed the knight, the lord there as well. So, cool. Apparently, this was also Sir Galahad's father. So, there's that. I'm sure nothing will come of that. Nothing ever bad happens. There are never... Oh yeah, you're right. Rome was earlier. There's never any real consequences. That'd be silly. Alright. Chapter 27. How Sir Galahad fought with Sir Tristram, and how Sir Tristram yielded him, and promised to fellowship with Lancelot. Then came Sir Galahad, and the king with the 100 knights with him, and this Sir Galahad preferred to fight with Sir Tristram hand for hand. And so they made them ready to go unto battle on horseback, with great courage. Then Sir Galahad and Sir Tristram met together so hard that either bare other down, horse and all, to the earth. And then they avoided their horses as noble knights, and dressed their shields, and drew their swords with ire and rancor. And they lashed together many sad strokes, and one while striking another while foining, tracing and traversing as noble knights. Thus they fought long, near half a day, and either were sore wounded. At the last, Sir Tristram waxed light and big, and doubled his strokes, and drove Sir Galahad aback on the one side and on the other, so that he was like to have been slain. With that came the king with the 100 knights, and all that fellowship went fiercely upon Sir Tristram. When Sir Tristram saw them coming upon him, then he wist well he might not endure. Then, as a wise knight of war, he said to Sir Galahad, the hot prince, Sir, you show to me no knighthood, for to suffer all your men to have ado with me all at once, and as meseemeth ye be a noble knight of your hands, it is a great shame to you. So God me help, said Sir Galahad, there is none other way, but thou must yield thee to me, other else to die. Said Sir Galahad to Sir Tristram, I will rather yield me to you than die, for that is more for the might of your men than of your hands. And therewithal Sir Tristram took his own sword by the point, and put the pommel in the hand of Sir Galahad. Therewithal came the king with the 100 knights, and hard began to assail Sir Tristram. Let be, said Sir Galahad, be ye not so hardy to touch him, for I have given this knight his life. That is your shame, said the king with the 100 knights. Hath he not slain your father and your mother? As for that, said Sir Galahad, I may not wite him greatly, for my father had him in prison, and enforced him to do battle with him. And my father had such a custom, that was a shameful custom, that what knight came there to ask harbour, his lady must needs die, but if she were fairer than my mother. And if my father overcame that knight, he must needs die. This was a shameful custom and usage, a knight for his harbour asking to have such harbourage. And for this custom I would never draw about him. So God help me, said the king, that this was a shameful custom. Truly, said Sir Galahad, so seemed me, and meseemeth it had been great pity that this knight should have been slain. For I dare say he's the noblest man that beareth life, but if it were Sir Lancelot de Lake. Now, fair knight, said Sir Galahad, I require thee, tell me thy name, and of whence thou art, and whither thou wilt. Sir, he said, My name is Sir Tristram de Lyonesse, and from King Mark of Cornwall I was sent on message unto King Anguish of Ireland, for to fetch his daughter to be his wife. And here she is ready to go with me into Cornwall, and her name is La Beale Isoud. And, Sir Tristram, said Sir Galahad, the hot prince, will be ye found in these marches, and so ye will promise me to go unto Sir Launcelot de Lake, and accompany with him. Ye shall go where ye will, and your fair lady with you, and I shall promise you never in all my days shall such customs be used in this castle as have been used. Sir, said Sir Tristram, now I let you wit, so God me help. I weened ye had been Sir Launcelot de Lake when I saw you first, and therefore I dread you the more. And sir, I promise you, said Sir Tristram, as soon as I may, I will see Sir Launcelot, and in fellowship me with him. For of all the knights of the world, I most desire his fellowship. Well, that was actually, Galahad doesn't seem so bad. After the disillusionment we've seen with Gawain and the many of the other knights, Galahad's just like, tell you what, we're not going to do this anymore, and I'm not going to hold you accountable for this. Surprisingly sensible dude. Who could have guessed? And now, chapter 28. How Sir Launcelot met with Sir Carados, bearing away Sir Gawain, and of the rescue of Sir Gawain. And then Sir Tristram took his leave when he saw his time, and took the sea. And in the meanwhile word came unto Sir Launcelot, and to Sir Tristram, that Sir Carados, the mighty king, that was made like a giant, fought with Sir Gawain, and gave him such strokes that he swooned in his saddle. And after that he took him by the collar and pulled him out of the saddle, and fast bound him to the saddle-bow, and so rode his way with him toward his castle. And as he rode, by fortune Sir Launcelot met with Sir Carados, and anon he knew Sir Gawain that lay bound after him. "Oh," said Sir Launcelot unto Sir Gawain, "how stands it with you?" "Oh, never so hard," said Sir Gawain, "unless that ye help me. For so God help me, without ye rescue me, I know no knight that may, but either you or Sir Tristram." Wherefore Sir Launcelot was heavy of Sir Gawain's words. And then Sir Launcelot bade Sir Carados lay down that night and fight with me. "Thou art but a fool," said Sir Carados, "for I will serve you in the same wise." "And for that," said Sir Launcelot, "spare me not, for I warn thee, I will not spare thee." And then he bound Sir Gawain hand and foot, and so threw him to the ground. And then he gat his spear of his squire, and departed from Sir Launcelot to fetch his course. And so either met with other, and brake their spears to their hands. And then they pulled out swords, and hurtled together on horseback more than an hour. At the last, Sir Launcelot smote Sir Carados such a buffet upon the helm that it pierced his brain-pan. So then, Sir Launcelot took Sir Carados by the collar, and pulled him under his horse's feet, and then he alighted and pulled off his helm, and struck off his head. And then Sir Launcelot unbound Sir Gawain. So this same tale was told to Sir Galahad and to Sir Tristram. Here may ye hear the nobleness that followed Sir Launcelot. "Alas," said Sir Tristram, "an I had not this message in hand with this fair lady, truly I would never stint, or I had found Sir Launcelot." Then Sir Tristram and La Beale Isoud went to the sea and came into Cornwall, and there all the barons met them. Now don't forget that while they were adrift at the vast stretches of the sea, the strait that you can see across, they found themselves thirsty and drank the love drink that the lady's mother had prepared to ensure that her upcoming wedding was not loveless. So, we already know that Tristram and La Beale Isoud are infatuated with each other, shall we say. And this is even before he delivers the blushing bride to the husband-to-be. So, this will be a fun meeting, I'm sure. Chapter 29. Of the wedding of King Mark to La Beale Isoud, and of Bragwaine, her maid, and of Palamedes. And anon they were richly wedded with great noblesse, but ever, as the French book saith, Sir Tristram and La Beale Isoud loved ever together. Then was there great jousts and great tourneying, and many lords and ladies were at that feast, and Sir Tristram was most praised of all other. Thus dured the feast long, and after the feast was done, within a little while after, by the assent of two ladies that were with Queen Isoud, they ordained for a hate and envy for to destroy Dame Bragwaine, that was maiden and lady unto La Beale Isoud. And she was sent into the forest for to fetch herbs. And there she was met, and bound feet and hand to a tree, and so she was bound in 3 days. And by fortune, Sir Palamedes found Dame Bragwaine, and there he delivered her from the death, and brought her to a nunnery there beside, for to be recovered. When Isoud the queen missed her maiden, wit ye well she was right heavy, as ever was any queen, for of all earthly women she loved her best. The cause was, for she came with her out of her country. And so, upon a day, Queen Isoud walked into the forest, to put away her thoughts. And there she went herself unto a well, and made great moan. And suddenly there came Palamedes to her, and had heard all her complaint, and said, Madam Isoud, an ye will grant me my boon, I shall bring you to Dame Bragwaine safe and sound. And the queen was so glad of his proffer that suddenly, unadvised, she granted all his asking. Well, madam, said Palamedes, I trust to your promise, and if ye will abide here half an hour, I shall bring her to you. I shall abide you, said La Beale Isoud. And Sir Palamedes rode forth his way to that nunnery, and lightly he came again with Dame Bragwaine. But by her good will she would not have come again, because for love of the queen she stood an adventure of her life. Notwithstanding, half against her will, she went with Sir Palamedes unto the queen, and when the queen saw her, she was passing glad. Now, madam, said Palamedes, remember upon your promise, for I have fulfilled my promise. Sir Palamedes, said the queen, I wot not what is your desire, but I will that ye wit, howbeit I promised you largely, I thought none evil, nor, I warn you, none evil will I do. Madam, said Sir Palamedes, as at this time ye shall not know my desire, but before my lord, your husband, there shall ye know that I will have my desire that ye have promised me. And therewith the queen departed, and rode home to the king, and Sir Palamedes rode after her. And when Sir Palamedes came before the king, he said, Sir King, I require you, as ye be a righteous king, that ye will judge me the right. Tell me your cause, said the king, and ye shall have right. Ending sentences as the French book said. That could be fun. I honestly, as I find myself using turns of phrases that are influenced by whatever book I'm reading on these streams, just not necessarily in regular parlance, but sometimes like as we're just talking about the book from time to time, I'll use turns of phrases that have come up from time to time. So when we're reading something like this, I can sound all sorts of the pompous ass. Because, guess what? Flighty romantic English doesn't really play off super duper well. All right. And now we come to chapter 30. How Palamedes demanded Queen Isolde, and how Lambegus rode after to rescue her, and of the escape of Isolde. Sir, said Palamedes, I promised your Queen Isolde to bring again Dame Bragwaine that she had lost, upon this covenant, that she should grant me a boon that I would ask, and without grudging. With her advisement, she granted me. What say ye, my lady? Said the king. It is as he saith, so God me help, said the queen. To say thee sooth, I promised him, asking for love and joy, that I had to see her. Well, madam, said the king, and if ye were hasty to grant him what boon he would ask, I will well that ye perform your promise. Then, said Palamedes, I will that ye wit that I will have your queen, to lead her and govern her whereas me list. Therewith the king stood still, and bethought him of Sir Tristram, and deemed that he would rescue her. And then hastily the king answered, Take her with the adventures that shall fall of it, for as I suppose thou wilt not enjoy her no while. As for that, said Palamedes, I dare right well abide the adventure. And so, to make short tale, Sir Palamedes took her by the hand and said, Madam, grudge not to go with me, for I desire nothing but your own promise. As for that, said the queen, I fear not greatly to go with thee, howbeit thou hast me at advantage upon my promise. For I doubt not I shall be worshipfully rescued from thee. As for that, said Sir Palamedes, be it as it may. So Queen Isolde was set behind Palamedes, and rode his way. Anon, the king sent after Sir Tristram, but in no wise he could be found, for he was in the forest a-hunting, for that was always his custom, but if he used arms, to chase and to hunt in the forest. Alas, said the king, now I am shamed forever, that by mine own assent my lady and my queen shall be devoured. Then came forth a knight. His name was Lambegus, and he was a knight of Sir Tristram. My lord, said this knight, sith ye have trust in my lord, Sir Tristram, wit ye well, for his sake, I will ride after your queen and rescue her, or else I shall be beaten. Gramercy, said the king, as I live, Sir Lambegus, I shall deserve it. And then Sir Lambegus armed him, and rode after as fast as he might. And then within a while he overtook Sir Palamedes. And then Sir Palamedes left the queen. What art thou? Said Palamedes. Art thou Tristram? Nay, he said, I am his servant, and my name is Sir Lambegus. That me repenteth, said Palamedes. I had liefer thou hast been Sir Tristram. I believe you well, said Lambegus. But when thou meetest with Sir Tristram, thou shalt have thy hands full. And then they hurtled together, and all to brast their spears. And then they pulled out their swords, and hewed on helms and hauberks. At the last, Sir Palamedes gave Sir Lambegus such a wound that he fell down like a dead knight to the earth. Then he looked after La Beale Isoud, and then she was gone, he ne swear. Wit ye well, Sir Palamedes was never so heavy. So the queen ran into the forest, and there she found a well, and therein she thought to have drowned herself. And as good fortune would, there came a knight to her that had a castle thereby. His name was Sir Adtherp, and when he found the queen in that mischief, he rescued her, and brought her to his castle. And when he wist what what was, he armed him. When he wist what she was, he armed him, and took his horse, and said he would be avenged upon Palamedes. And so he rode on till he met with them. And there Sir Palamedes wounded him sore, and by force he made him to tell him the cause why he did battle with him, and how he had led the queen unto his castle. Now bring me there, said Palamedes, or thou shalt die of my hands. Sir, said Sir Adtherp, I am so wounded I may not follow, but ride you this way, and it shall bring you into my castle, and there within is the queen. Then Sir Palomides rode still till he came to the castle, and at a window La Beale Isoud saw Sir Palomides. And then she made the gates to be shut strongly, and when he saw he might not come within the castle, he put off his bridle and his saddle, and put his horse to pasture, and set himself down at the gate like a man that was out of his wit, that recked not of himself. So, Mark certainly loves and keeps and cherishes his wife. Just to hand her off with whatever random knight walks up and says, "Hey, I'm taking her. Let's go." Now, to be said, Palomides is not some nameless knight. He's somewhat famous. And are we... Yep, we're buffering. Hang on. We'll give it a minute to make sure we're back to live. I think we're okay. Yep, alright, that looks good. Maybe. Okay, we're down again. Hang on. Internet. YouTube. Why you do this today? We've been having such a good time lately. Hang on. Let me see if I can open up some memory here, just to be sure to rule that out. Alright, I believe that's about as good as we're like to get. See if we can go back to live and then whether it will buffer. Alright, I think we are back to normal, at least for the nonce. And yeah, you're right. It is very kingly to just be like, you know what? Tristram's always doing me solids. Go ahead, take her. He'll take care of it. We don't need to worry about it. So, you gotta... Mark is not terribly endearing. Are we buffering in? For God's sake, YouTube. Let's go. Come on. Get your act together here. Alright. I think we're stable. For now. Alright. We'll just charge ahead, and if it gets much worse, we'll give it some time, but I think we're okay for now. So, Chapter 31. How Sir Tristram rode after Palomides, and how he found him and fought with him, and by the means of Isoud, the battle ceased. Now turn we unto Sir Tristram, that when he was come home and wist La Beale Isoud was gone with Sir Palomides, wit ye well he was wroth out of measure. Alas, said Sir Tristram, I am this day shamed. Then he cried to Gouvernail his man, Haste thee, that I were armed and on horseback. For well I wot Lambegus hath no might nor strength to withstand Sir Palomides. Alas, that I have not been in his stead. So anon, as he was armed and horsed, Sir Tristram and Gouvernail rode after him into the forest, and within a while he found his knight Lambegus, almost wounded to the death. And Sir Tristram bare him to a forester, and charged him to keep him well. And then he rode forth, and there he found Sir Adthorp, sore wounded, and he told him how the queen would have drowned herself had he not been, and how for her sake and love he had taken upon him to do battle with Sir Palomides. Where is my lady? Said Sir Tristram. Sir, said the knight, She is sure enough within my castle, and she can hold her within it. Gramercy, said Sir Tristram, of thy great goodness. And so he rode, till he came nigh to that castle. And then Sir Tristram saw where Sir Palomides sat at the gate sleeping, and his horse pastured fast afore him. Now go thou, Gouvernail, said Sir Tristram, and bid him awake, and make him ready. So Gouvernail rode unto him, and said, Sir Palomides, arise, and take to thee thine harness. But he was in such a study, he heard not what Gouvernail said. So Gouvernail came again, and told Sir Tristram he slept, or else he was mad. Go thou again, said Sir Tristram, and bid him arise, and tell him that I am here, his mortal foe. So Gouvernail rode again, and put upon him the butt of his spear, and said, Sir Palomides, make thee ready, for wit ye well, Sir Tristram hoveth yonder, and sendeth thee word he is thy mortal foe. And therewithal Sir Palomides arose, stilly, without words, and gat his horse, and saddled him, and bridled him, and lightly he leapt upon, and gat his spear in his hand. And either feutred their spears, and hurtled fast together. And there Tristram smote down Sir Palomides over his horse's tail. Then, lightly, Sir Palomides put his shield afore him, and drew his sword. And there began strong battle on both parts, for both they fought for the love of one lady, and ever she lay on the walls, and beheld them, how they fought out of measure, and either were wounded passing sore, but Palomides was much sorer wounded. Thus they fought, tracing and traversing more than 2 hours, that well nigh for dole and sorrow La Beale Isoud swooned. Alas, she said, that one I loved and yet do, and the other I love not, yet it were great pity that I should see Sir Palomides slain. For well I know by that time the end be done Sir Palomides is but a dead knight, because he is not christened. I would be loath that he should die a Saracen. And therewithal she came down and besought Sir Tristram to fight no more. Ah, madam, said he, what mean you? Will ye have me shamed? Well ye know, I will be ruled by you. I will not your dishonour, said La Beale Isoud, but I would that ye would for my sake spare this unhappy Saracen, Palomides. Madam, said Sir Tristram, I will leave fighting at this time for your sake. Then she said unto Sir Palomides, This shall be your charge, that thou shalt go out of this country while I am therein. I will obey your commandment, said Sir Palomides, the which is sore against my will. Then take thy way, said La Beale Isoud, unto the court of King Arthur, and there recommend me unto Queen Guinevere, and tell her that I send her word that there be within this land but 4 lovers, that is, Sir Launcelot de Lake and Queen Guinevere, and Sir Tristram de Lyonesse and Queen Isoud. Oh damn, she just came out and said it. That's a little foreboding there, isn't it? Just be like, there's only 4 lovers in the entire country, and neither of them are wedded, or none of them are wedded. Oops. Chapter 32. How Sir Tristram brought Queen Isoud home, and of the debate of King Mark and Sir Tristram. And so Sir Palomides departed with great heaviness, and Sir Tristram took the queen and brought her again to King Mark. And then was there made great joy of her homecoming, who was cherished but Sir Tristram. Then Sir Tristram let fetch Sir Lambegus, his knight, from the forester's house, and it was long where he was whole, but at the last he was well recovered. Thus they lived with joy and play a long while, but ever Sir Andred, that was nigh cousin to Sir Tristram, lay in a watch to wait betwixt Sir Tristram and La Beale Isoud, or to take them and slander them. So upon a day Sir Tristram talked with La Beale Isoud in a window, and that espied Sir Andred, and told it to the king. Then King Mark took a sword in his hand and came to Sir Tristram, and called him false traitor, and would have stricken him. But Sir Tristram was nigh him, and ran under his sword, and took it out of his hand. And then the king cried, "Where are my knights and my men? I charge you, slay this traitor." But at that time there was not one would move for his words. When Sir Tristram saw that there was not one would be against him, he shook his sword to the king, and made countenance as though he would have stricken him. And then King Mark fled, and Sir Tristram followed him, and smote upon him 5 or 6 strokes, flatling on the neck, that he made him fall upon the nose. And then Sir Tristram yede his way, and armed him, and took his horse and his man, and so he rode into that forest. Common and quietly accepted, sure, but it's probably generally frowned upon for the absolute highest of nobility. We're talking like kings and queens to get around a little. For the lesser nobility and the knights and ladies and such, I'm sure there are things that could be overlooked. But at the very height, they're usually held to a different standard. And they kind of are, usually. I mean, you see how Mark is reacting here to Tristram. But, yeesh. And there upon a day, Sir Tristram met with 2 brethren that were knights with King Mark. And there he struck off the head of the one, and wounded the other to the death. And he made him to bear his brother's head in his helm unto the king. And 30 more there he wounded. And when that knight came before the king to say his message, he there died afore the king and the queen. Then King Mark called his council unto him, and asked advice of his barons. That was the best to do with Tristram. "Sir," said the barons, in especial Sir Dinas, the seneschal, "Sir, we will give you counsel for to send for Sir Tristram, for we will that ye wit many men will hold with Sir Tristram, and he were hard bestead. And sir," said Sir Dinas, "ye shall understand that Sir Tristram is called peerless and makeless of any Christian knight. And of his might and hardiness we knew none so good a knight, but if it be Sir Launcelot de Lake. And if he depart from your court and go to King Arthur's court, wit ye well he will get him such friends there that he will not set by your malice. And therefore, sir, I counsel you to take him to your grace." "I will well," said the king, that he be sent for, that we may be friends." Then the barons sent for Sir Tristram under a safe conduct. And so, when Sir Tristram came to the king, he was welcome, and no rehearsal was made. And there was game and play, and then the king and the queen went a hunting, and Sir Tristram. Yeah, that's true. She did just say the quiet part out loud, and outed Guinevere on top of herself, which is... that might be a step too far there. There may have been suspicions. It may have been foretold. But... come on. Alright. And now, chapter 33. How Sir Lamorak jousted with 30 knights. And Sir Tristram, at the request of King Mark, smote his horse down. That's an interesting request. The king and the queen made their pavilions and their tents in that forest beside a river. And there was daily hunting and jousting. For there were ever 30 knights ready to joust unto all them that came in at that time. And there by fortune came Sir Lamorak de Gallis and Sir Driant. And there Sir Driant jousted right well, but at the last he had a fall. Then Sir Lamorak preferred to joust, and when he began, he fared so with the 30 knights that there was not one of them but that he gave him a fall, and some of them were sore hurt. I marvel, said King Mark, what knight he is that doth such deeds of arms. Sir, said Tristram, I know him well for a noble knight, as few now be living, and his name is Sir Lamorak de Galis. It were great shame, said the king, that he should go thus away, unless that some of you meet with him better. Sir, said Sir Tristram, meseemeth it were no worship for a noble man to have ado with him, and for because at this time he hath done overmuch for any mean knight living. Therefore, as meseemeth, it were great shame and villainy to tempt him any more at this time, insomuch as he and his horse are weary both, for the deeds of arms that he hath done this day, and they be well considered. It were enough for Sir Launcelot de Lake. As for that, said King Mark, I require you, as ye love me and my lady the queen, La Beale Isoud, take your arms and joust with Sir Lamorak de Galis. Sir, said Sir Tristram, ye bid me do a thing that is against knighthood. And well I can deem that I shall give him a fall, for it is no mastery. For my horse and I be fresh both, and so is not his horse and he. And wit ye well that he will take it for great unkindness. For ever one good knight is loath to take another at disadvantage. But because I will not displease you, and as ye require me, so will I do, and obey your commandment. And so Sir Tristram armed him, and took his horse, and put him forth. And there Sir Lamorak met him mightily, and with the might of his own spear, and of Sir Tristram's spear, Sir Lamorak's horse fell to the earth, and he sitting in the saddle. Then anon, as lightly as he might, he avoided the saddle and his horse, and put his shield afore him, and drew his sword. And then he bade Sir Tristram, Alight, thou knight, and thou durst. Nay, said Sir Tristram, I will no more have ado with thee, for I have done to thee overmuch unto my dishonour and to thy worship. As for that, said Sir Lamorak, I can thee no thank. Since thou hast forjousted me on horseback, I require thee, and I beseech thee, and thou be Sir Tristram, fight with me on foot. I will not so, said Sir Tristram, and wit ye well, my name is Sir Tristram de Lyonesse. And well I know ye be Sir Lamorak de Galis, and this that I have done to you was against my will, but I was required thereto. But to say that I will do at your request as at this time, I will have no more ado with you, for me shameth of what I have done. As for the shame, said Sir Lamorak, on thy part or on mine, bear thou it and thou wilt. For though a mare's son hath failed me, now a queen's son shall not fail thee. And therefore, and thou be such a knight as men call thee, I require thee, alight, and fight with me. Sir Lamorak, said Sir Tristram, I understand your heart is great, and cause why ye have to say thee sooth. For it would grieve me, and any knight should keep him fresh, and then to strike down a weary knight, for that knight nor horse was never formed that always might stand or endure. And therefore, said Sir Tristram, I will not have ado with you, for me thinketh of what I have done. As for that, said Sir Lamorak, I shall quit you, and ever I see my time. My desk is getting a little crowded here. Alright. Chapter 34. How Sir Lamorak sent a horn to King Mark in despite of Sir Tristram, and how Sir Tristram was driven into a chapel. So he departed from him with Sir Driant. And by the way they met with a knight that was sent from Morgan le Fay unto King Arthur. And this knight had a fair horn harnessed with gold, and the horn had such a virtue that there might no lady nor gentlewoman drink of that horn but if she were true to her husband. And if she were false, she would spill all the drink. And if she were true to her lord, she might drink peaceable. And because of the Queen Guinevere, and all the despite of Sir Launcelot, this horn was sent unto King Arthur, and by force Sir Lamorak made that knight to tell all the cause why he bare that horn. Now shalt thou bear this horn, said Lamorak, unto King Mark, or else choose thou to die for it. For I tell thee plainly, in despite and reproof of Sir Tristram, thou shalt bear that horn unto King Mark, his uncle, and say thou to him that I sent it for him to assay his lady. And if she be true to him, he shall prove her. So the knight went his way unto King Mark, and brought him that rich horn, and said that Sir Lamorak sent it him, and thereto he told him the virtue of that horn. And then the king made Queen Isoude to drink thereof, and 100 ladies. And there were but 4 ladies of all those that drank clean. Damn! Damn! Alas, said King Mark, this is a great despot, and swear a great oath that she should be burnt and the other ladies. Alright, so from 101, 4 were true to their husbands. So we like to think, the 60s were, swinging and free and there's love all around. That ain't got nothing on this. Nothing like a 95% rate of going around. Then the barons gathered them together, and said plainly they would not have those ladies burnt for a horn made by sorcery, that came from as false a sorceress and witch as then was living. For that horn did never good, but caused strife and debate, and always in her days she had been an enemy to all true lovers. So there were many knights made their vow, and ever they met with Morgan le Fay, that they would show her short courtesy. Also, Sir Tristram was passing wroth with that Sir Lamorak sent that horn unto King Mark, for well he knew that it was done in the despite of him. And therefore he thought to quiet Sir Lamorak. Then Sir Tristram used daily and nightly to go to Queen Isoude when he might, and ever Sir Andred his cousin watched him night and day for to take him with La Belle Isoude. And so upon a night Sir Andred espied the hour and the time when Sir Tristram went to his lady. Then Sir Andred gat unto him 12 knights, and at midnight he set upon Sir Tristram secretly and suddenly, and there Sir Tristram was taken naked abed with La Belle Isoude. And then was he bound hand and foot, and so was he kept until day. And then, by the assent of King Mark, and of Sir Andred, and of some of the barons, Sir Tristram was led unto a chapel that stood upon the sea rocks, there for to take his judgment. And so he was led, bounden with 40 knights. And when Sir Tristram saw that there was none other boot but needs that he must die, then said he, Fair lords, remember what I have done for the country of Cornwall, and in what jeopardy I have been in for the weal of you all. For when I fought for the truage of Cornwall with Sir Marhaus, the good knight, I was promised for to be better rewarded. When ye all refused to take the battle, therefore, as ye be good gentle knights, see me not thus shamefully to die. For it is shame to all knighthood thus to see me die. For I dare say, said Sir Tristram, that I never met with no knight, but I was as good as he, or better. Fie upon thee, said Sir Andred, false traitor that thou art, with thine avaunting, For all thy boast, thou shalt die this day. Oh, Andred, Andred, said Sir Tristram, thou shouldst be my kinsman, and now thou art to me full unfriendly. But an there were no more but thou and I, thou wouldst not put me to death. No, said Sir Andred, and therewith he drew his sword, and would have slain him. When Sir Tristram saw him make such countenance, he looked upon both his hands, that were fast bounden unto two knights, and suddenly he pulled them both to him, and unwrassed his hands, and then he leapt unto his cousin, Sir Andred, and wrested his sword out of his hands. And then he smote Sir Andred, that he fell to the earth. And so Sir Tristram fought, till that he had killed 10 knights. So then Sir Tristram gat the chapel, and kept it mightily. And the cry was great, and the people drew fast unto Sir Andred, more than 100. But Sir Tristram saw the people draw unto him. He remembered he was naked, and spurred fast the chapel door, and brake the bars of a window, and so he leapt out, and fell on to the crags of the sea. And so at that time Sir Andred, nor none of his fellows, might get to him at that time. Okay, yeah, so any predictions for whether this would intensify as a soap opera or not? It's getting a little bit more heated. Just keeps on giving more and more and more. So at this point we've had the caught out in the affair, found naked in bed with the queen, dragged naked to a church to be presumably hanged, and killed 10 knights in his escape. While he was naked, he burst the ropes that were holding his wrists, took the sword from another knight, and used that sword to kill the knights that were holding him. So Tristram is kind of a bamf, but he's also the cause of most of his own problems, which is very soap opera-ish. It just works, right? But now he's on the run. So we've got Arthurian medieval fugitive on our hands. So they're going to be searching outhouses, shithouses, all that. Alright. Chapter 35. How Sir Tristram was holpen by his men, and of Queen Isoude, which was put in a lazar coat, and how Tristram was hurt. So when they were departed, Gouvernail and Sir Lambegus, and Sir Centrail de Luchon, that were Sir Tristram's men, sought their master. When they heard he was escaped, then they were passing glad, and on the rocks they found him, and with towels they pulled him up. And then Sir Tristram asked them where was La Beale Isoud, for he weened she had been away of Andred's people. Sir, said Gouvernail, she is put in a lazar coat. What is a lazar coat? That's... See, etymologies, but no definitions, meaning and use. Okay, yeah, thanks. We don't... The Oxford Dictionary requires you to sign in to look up a word. A leper's hut. Okay, lazar coat, leper's hut. Well, that's an interesting place to lock up your queen. Even if she's a little bit more than suspected to be an adulteress. Alas, said Sir Tristram, this is a full ungoodly place for such a fair lady, and if I may, she shall not be long there. And so he took his men, and went thereas was La Beale Isoud, and fetched her away, and brought her into a forest to a fair manor. And Sir Tristram there abode with her. So the good knight bade his men to go from him. For at this time I may not help you. So they departed, all save Gouvernail. So upon a day Sir Tristram yede into the forest for to disport him. And then it happened that there he fell asleep. And there came a man that Sir Tristram aforehand had slain his brother. And when this man had found him, he shot him through the shoulder with an arrow. And Sir Tristram leapt up and killed that man. And in the meantime it was told King Mark how Sir Tristram and La Beale Isoud were in that same manner. As soon as ever he might thither, he came with many knights to slay Sir Tristram. And when he came there, he found him gone. And there he took La Beale Isoud home with him, and kept her straight, that by no means never she might wit nor send unto Tristram, nor he unto her. And then, when Sir Tristram came toward the old manor, he found the track of many horses, and thereby he wist his lady was gone. And then Sir Tristram took great sorrow, and endured with great pain for long time, for the arrow that he was hurt withal was envenomed. Then, by the mean of La Beale Isoud, she told a lady that was cousin unto Dame Bragwaine, and she came to see Sir Tristram, and told him that he might not be whole by no means, for thy lady La Beale Isoud may not help thee. Therefore she biddeth you haste into Brittany to King Howell, and there ye shall find his daughter, Isoud la Blanche-Main, and she shall help thee. Then Sir Tristram and Gouvernail gat them shipping, and so sailed into Brittany. And when King Howell wist that it was Sir Tristram, he was full glad of him. Sir, he said, I am come into this country to have help of your daughter, for it is told me that there is none other may heal me but she. And so, within a while, she healed him. Yeah, healed him, wink wink. Chapter 36. How Sir Tristram served in war King Howell of Brittany, and slew his adversary in the field. There was an earl that hight Grip, and this earl made great war upon the king, and put the king to the worse, and besieged him. And on a time, Sir Cadius, that was son to King Howell, as he issued out, he was sore wounded, nigh to the death. Then Gouvernail went to the king and said, Sir, I counsel you to desire my lord, Sir Tristram, is in your need to help you. I will do by your counsel, said the king. And so he yede unto Sir Tristram, and prayed him in his wars to help him. For my son, Sir Cadius, may not go into the field. Sir, said Sir Tristram, I will go to the field and do what I may. Then Sir Tristram issued out of the town with such fellowship as he might make, and did such deeds that all Brittany spake of him. And then at last, by great might and force, he slew the Earl Grip with his own hands, and more than 100 knights he slew that day. And then Sir Tristram was received worshipfully with procession. Then King Howell embraced him in his arms and said, Sir Tristram, all my kingdom I will resign to thee. God defend, said Sir Tristram, for I am beholden unto you for your daughter's sake to do for you. Then, by the great means of King Howell and Cadius his son, by great proffers, they grew great love betwixt Isoud and Sir Tristram. For that lady was both good and fair, and a woman of noble blood and fame. And for because Sir Tristram had such cheer and riches, and all other pleasaunce, that he had forgotten La Beale Isoud. And so, upon a time, Sir Tristram agreed to wed Isoud la Blanche-Main. And at the last they were wedded, and solemnly held their marriage. And so, when they were abed, both Sir Tristram remembered him of his old lady, La Beale Isoud. And then he took such a thought suddenly, that he was all dismayed, and other cheer made he none, but with clipping and kissing. As for other fleshly lusts, Sir Tristram never thought, nor had ado with her. Such mention maketh the French book. Also it maketh mention that the lady weened there had been no pleasure but kissing and clipping. And in the meantime there was a knight in Brittany. His name was Supinibiles. And he came over the sea into England, and then he came into the court of King Arthur. And there he met with Sir Launcelot de Lake, and told him of the marriage of Sir Tristram. Then Sir Launcelot, fie upon him, untrue knight to his lady, that so noble a knight as Sir Tristram is should be found to his first lady false, La Beale Isoud, Queen of Cornwall. But say ye him this, said Sir Launcelot, that of all knights in the world I loved him most, and had most joy of him. And all was for his noble deeds, and let him wit the love between him and me is done for ever, and that I give him warning from this day forth as his mortal enemy. Okay, so he falls for any woman that'll treat his envenomed wounds. But as he, getting married and laying in bed with his new wife, and he thinks of the other as he... the other one. Oh. And so that just doesn't go well. And then to make matters worse, Lancelot, the greatest knight, the one who Tristram wanted to be friends with, wanted to cultivate a relationship with and try and raise each other up, Lancelot says, you know what? I'm done with you. You're not one of my homies because you settled down. That's kind of something else, honestly. I know since Lancelot is chasing after a taken woman, I guess he just expects everyone to be as true to their heart of hearts as anyone else. It doesn't matter. Just adultery, no worry. Just keep on keeping on, man. Don't settle. That is certainly one way to make an enemy forever. Chapter 38, or 37. How Sir Supinibile told Sir Tristram how he was defamed in the court of King Arthur and of Sir Lamorak. Then departed Sir Supinibile unto Brittany again, and there he found Sir Tristram, and told him that he had been in King Arthur's court. Then said Sir Tristram, heard ye anything of me? Okay, man is just ego searching. It's like, oh, you've been to King Arthur's court. Are they talking about me? So God me help, said Sir Supinibile. There I heard Sir Launcelot speak of you great shame, and that ye be a false knight to your lady, and he bade me do you to wit, that he will be your mortal enemy in every place where he may meet you. That me repenteth, said Tristram, for of all knights I loved to be in his fellowship. So Sir Tristram made great moan, and was ashamed that noble knights should defame him for the sake of his lady. And in this meanwhile, La Beale Isoud made a letter unto Queen Guinevere, complaining her of the untruth of Sir Tristram, and how he had wedded the king's daughter of Brittany. Queen Guinevere sent her another letter, and bade her be of good cheer, for she should have joy after sorrow. For Sir Tristram was so noble a knight called, that by crafts of sorcery ladies would make such noble men to wed them. But in the end, Queen Guinevere said, it shall be thus, that he shall hate her, and love you better than ever he did tofore. So leave we Sir Tristram in Brittany, and speak we of Sir Lamorak de Galis, that as he sailed his ship fell on a rock, and perished all, save Sir Lamorak and his squire. And there he swam mightily, and fishers of the Isle of Servage took him up, and his squire was drowned, and the shipmen had great labour to save Sir Lamorak's life, for all the comfort that they could do. And the lord of that isle hight Sir Nabon le Noir, a great mighty giant, and this Sir Nabon hated all the knights of King Arthur's, and in no wise he would do them favour. And these fishers told Sir Lamorak all the guise of Sir Nabon, and how there came never knight of King Arthur's but he destroyed him. And at the last battle that he did was slain Sir Nanon le Petit, to which he put to a shameful death in despite of King Arthur, for he was drawn limb-meal. That forthinketh me, said Sir Lamorak, for that knight's death, for he was my cousin, and if I were at mine ease as well as ever I was, I would revenge his death. Peace, said the fishers, and make here no words, for or ever ye depart from hence, Sir Nabon must know that ye have been here, or else we should die for your sake. So that I be whole, said Lamorak, of my disease that I have taken in the sea, I will that ye tell him that I am a knight of King Arthur's, for I was never afeard to rene my lord. Well, that was a bit of a left turn there, but I guess we'll probably have another chapter here that will go in and tie Lamorak back with Sir Tristram. Alright guys, it is a little after 9, so let's take a few minutes. I'm going to stretch my legs, top up my drink, and we'll be back in just a little while. We should be able to finish Tristram's book tonight. I think this only goes into the 40s. Yeah, early 40s, so we're close to it. So we should be able to finish Tristram's story tonight and see what the last book of Le Morte d'Arthur has in hold for us. Alright, so we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you guys. We are back. So, we've got a few chapters left in Tristram's story, and we will see... Oh, I need to switch back to the main page. Whoops. Got a few chapters left for Tristram, and we will see how things will wrap up here, and whether or whatever we find the next book to have. And as I had mentioned, the next book is the last one in this first volume. So it's rather obvious we're not getting the Quest for the Grail. That's probably going to be the majority of the second volume. And likely we'll start seeing the wars that take up the end of Arthur's reign and the flight into Avalon and that sort of thing. But that'll be for another book and another series. We've got a fair bit left to go in this one, but this one has been, so far, a 9-part series. We'll probably finish around the 12th part, I'd say, at the rate things are going. So we've got a lot left. And I'd rather not back-to-back on this. We need to get into something a little bit more modern? Maybe? Something. We'll see. Anyway, let's finish Tristram tonight. And we'll see if we can get a chapter or two of the last book in, just based on whatever time we've got left. So, let's resume with chapter 38. How Sir Tristram and his wife arrived in Wales, and how he met there with Sir Lamorak. Now turn we unto Sir Tristram, that lay upon a day he took a little barget, and his wife Isoud le Blanchemain, with Sir Cadius, her brother, to play them in the coasts. And when they were in from the land, there was a wind drove them into the coast of Wales upon this Isle of Servage, whereas was Sir Lamorak. And there the barget all to rove, and there Dame Isoud was hurt, and as well as they might they gat into the forest, and there by a well he saw Segwarides and a damsel. And then either saluted other. Sir, said Segwarides, I know you for Sir Tristram de Lyonesse, the man in the world that I have most cause to hate, because ye departed the love between me and my wife. But as for that, said Sir Segwarides, I will never hate a noble knight for a light lady, and therefore I pray you, be my friend, and I will be yours unto my power, for wit ye well, ye are hard bestead in this valley, and we shall have enough to do either of us to succor other. And then Sir Segwarides brought Sir Tristram to a lady thereby that was born in Cornwall. She told him all the perils of that valley, and how there came never knight there, but he were taken prisoner or slain. Wit you well, fair lady, said Sir Tristram, that I slew Sir Marhaus, and delivered Cornwall from the truage of Ireland, and I am he that delivered the King of Ireland from Sir Blamore de Ganis, and I am he that beat Sir Palamedes, and wit ye well, I am Sir Tristram de Lyonesse, that by the grace of God shall deliver this woeful Isle of Servage. So Sir Tristram was well eased. Well, that's... So, bring you to mind that Segwarides was the husband of the first of Sir Tristram's trysts. So, the soap opera continues. The hourglass turns, and these are the days of our medieval lives. Then one told him there was a knight of King Arthur's that was wrecked on the rocks. What is his name? Said Sir Tristram. We wot not, said the fishers, but he keepeth it no counsel, but that he is a knight of King Arthur's. And by the mighty lord of this isle he saith not. I pray you, said Sir Tristram, and ye may bring him hither, that I may see him. And if he be any of the knights of Arthur's, I shall know him. Then the lady prayed the fishers to bring him to her place. So on the morrow they brought him thither in a fisher's raiment, and as soon as Sir Tristram saw him, he smiled upon him and knew him well. But he knew not Sir Tristram. Fair sir, said Sir Tristram, Meseemeth by your cheer, ye have been diseased but late, and also methinketh, I should know you heretofore. I will well, said Sir Lamorak, that ye have seen me and met with me. Fair sir, said Sir Tristram, tell me your name. Upon a covenant I will tell you, said Sir Lamorak, that is, that ye will tell me whether ye be lord of this island or no. That is called Nebon Lenore. Forsooth, said Sir Tristram, I am not he, nor I hold naught of him. I am his foe, as well as ye be, and so shall I be found, or I depart out of this isle. Well, said Sir Lamorak, since ye have so largely unto me, my name is Sir Lamorak de Galis, son unto King Pellinore. Forsooth, I trow well, said Sir Tristram, for in ye said other, I know the contrary. What are ye, said Sir Lamorak, that knoweth me? I am Sir Tristram de Leonis. Sir, remember ye not of the fall ye did give me once, and after ye refused me to fight on foot? That was not for fear I had of you, said Sir Tristram, but me shamed at that time to have more ado with you. Meseemed ye had enough. But Sir Lamorak, for my kindness, many ladies ye put to a reproof when ye sent the horn from Morgan le Fay to King Mark, whereas ye did this in despite of me. Well, said he, an it were to do again, so would I do, for I had liefer strife and debate fell in King Mark's court rather than Arthur's court, for the honour of both courts could not be alike. As to that, said Sir Tristram, I know well, but that was done it was for despite of me. But all your malice, I thank God, hurt not greatly. Therefore, said Sir Tristram, I shall leave all your malice, and so will I, and let us essay how we may win worship between you and me upon this giant, Sir Nebon Lenore, that is lord of this island, to destroy him. Sir, said Sir Lamorak, now I understand your knighthood, and it may not be false that all men say, for of your bounty, noblesse, and worship, of all knights ye are peerless. And for your courtesy and gentleness I showed you ungentleness, and that now me repenteth. Okay, Chapter 39. How Sir Tristram fought with Sir Nabon and overcame him, and made Sir Segwarides lord of the isle. In the meantime, there came word that Sir Nabon had made a cry that all the people of that isle should be at his castle at the fifth day after, and the same day the son of Nabon should be made knight, and all the knights of that valley and thereabout should be there to joust. And all those of the realm of Logris should be there to joust with them of North Wales. And thither came 500 knights, and they of the country brought thither Sir Lamorak, and Sir Tristram, and Sir Cadius, and Sir Segwarides, for they durst none otherwise do. And then Sir Nabon sent Sir Lamorak horse and armour, and Sir Lamorak's desire. And Sir Lamorak jousted and did such deeds of arms that Nabon, of all the people, said there was never knight that ever they saw do such deeds of arms. For, as the French book saith, he forjousted all that were there, for the most part of 500 knights, that none abode him in his saddle. It must be true. That's what the French book saith. Then Sir Nabon preferred to play with him his play. For I saw never no knight do so much upon a day. I will well, said Sir Lamorak, play as I may, but I am weary and sore bruised. And there either gat a spear, but Nabon would not encounter with Sir Lamorak, but smote his horse in the forehead, and so slew him. And then Sir Lamorak yede on foot, and turned his shield, and drew his sword, and there began strong battle on foot. But Sir Lamorak was sore bruised and short-breathed, that he traced and traversed somewhat back. "Fair fellow," said Sir Nabon, "hold thy hand, and I shall show thee more courtesy than ever I showed knight, because I have seen this day thy noble knighthood. And therefore stand thou by, and I will wit whether any of thy fellows will have ado with me." Then, when Sir Tristram heard that, he stepped forth and said, "Nabon, lend me horse and sure armor, and I will have ado with thee." "Well, fellow," said Sir Nabon, "go thou to yonder pavilion, and arm thee of the best thou findest there, and I shall play a marvellous play with thee." "Then," said Sir Tristram, "look ye play well, or else, peradventure, I shall learn you a new play." "That is well said, fellow," said Sir Nabon. So, when Sir Tristram was armed, as him liked best, and well shielded and sworded, he dressed to him on foot, for well he knew that Sir Nabon would not abide a stroke with a spear. Therefore, he would slay all the knight's horses. "Now, fair fellow," Sir Nabon, "let us play." So then they fought long on foot, tracing, traversing, smiting, and foining long without any rest. At the last, Sir Nabon prayed him to tell him his name. "Sir Nabon, I tell thee my name is Sir Tristram de Lyonesse, a knight of Cornwall, under King Mark." "Thou art welcome," said Sir Nabon, "for of all knights I have most desired to fight with thee or with Sir Launcelot." So then they went eagerly together, and Sir Tristram slew Sir Nabon, and so forthwith he leapt to his son and struck off his head, and then all the country said that they would hold of Sir Tristram. "Nay," said Sir Tristram, "I will not so. Here is a worshipful knight, Sir Lamorak de Galis, that for me he shall be the lord of this country, for he hath done here great deeds of arms." "Nay," said Sir Lamorak, "I will not be lord of this country, for I have not deserved it as well as ye. Therefore give it ye where ye will, for I will none have." "Well," said Sir Tristram, "since ye nor I will not have it, let us give it to him that hath not so well deserved it." "Do as ye list," said Segwarides, "for the gift is yours, for I will none have an I had deserved it." So it was given to Segwarides, whereof he thanked them, and so was he lord, and worshipfully did he govern. And then Sir Segwarides delivered all prisoners, and set good governance in that valley. And so he returned into Cornwall, and told King Mark and La Beale Isoud how Sir Tristram had advanced him to the Isle of Servage. And there he proclaimed in all Cornwall of all the adventures of these two knights. So it was openly known, but full woe was La Beale Isoud when she heard tell that Sir Tristram was wedded to Isoud la Blanche Mains. Chapter 40. How Sir Lamorak departed from Sir Tristram, and how he met with Sir Frol, and after with Sir Launcelot. So turn we unto Sir Lamorak, that rode toward Arthur's court, and Sir Tristram's wife and Cadius took a vessel and sailed into Brittany unto King Howell, where he was welcome. And when he heard of these adventures, they marvelled of his noble deeds. Now turn we unto Sir Lamorak, that when he was departed from Sir Tristram, he rode out of the forest, till he came to a hermitage. When the hermit saw him, he asked him from whence he came. "Sir," said Sir Lamorak, "I come from this valley." "Sir," said the hermit, "thereof I marvel, for this 20 winter I never saw no knight pass this country, but he was either slain or villainously wounded, or pass as a poor prisoner." "Those ill customs," said Sir Lamorak, "are fordone, for Sir Tristram slew your lord, Sir Nabon, and his son. And then the hermit was glad, and all his brethren, for he said, there was never such a tyrant among Christian men. And therefore, said the hermit, this valley and franchise we will hold of Sir Tristram. So on the morrow Sir Lamorak departed, and as he rode he saw 4 knights fight against one, and that one knight defended him well, but at the last the 4 knights had him down. And then Sir Lamorak went betwixt them, and asked them why they would slay that one knight, and said it was shame 4 against 1. Thou shalt well wit, said the 4 knights, that he is false. That is your tale, said Sir Lamorak, and when I hear him also speak, I will say as ye say. Then said Lamorak, Ah, knight, can ye not excuse you, but that ye are a false knight? Sir, said he, yet can I excuse me both with my word and with my hands, that I will make good upon one of the best of them, my body to his body. Then spake they all at once, We will not jeopardy our bodies as for thee. But wit thou well, they said, and King Arthur were here himself, it should not lie in his power to save his life. That is too much said, said Sir Lamorak. But many speak behind a man more than they will say to his face, and because of your words ye shall understand that I am one of the simplest of King Arthur's court. In the worship of my lord now do your best, and in despite of you I shall rescue him. And then they lashed all at once to Sir Lamorak. But anon, at 2 strokes, Sir Lamorak had slain 2 of them, and then the other 2 fled. So then Sir Lamorak turned again to that knight, and asked him his name. Sir, he said, my name is Sir Frol of the Out Isles. Then he rode with Sir Lamorak, and bare him company. And as they rode by the way, they saw a seemly knight riding against them, and all in white. Aha, said Frol, yonder knight jousted late with me, and smote me down. Therefore I will joust with him. Ye shall not do so, said Sir Lamorak, by my counsel, and ye will tell me your quarrel, whether ye jousted at his request, or he at yours. Nay, said Sir Frol, I jousted with him at my request. Sir, said Lamorak, then will I counsel you deal no more with him, for meseemeth by his countenance he should be a noble knight, and no japer, for methinketh he should be of the Table Round. Therefore I will not spare, said Sir Frol. And then he cried and said, Sir Knight, make thee ready to joust. That needeth not, said the White Knight, for I have no lust to joust with thee. But yet they furted their spears, and the White Knight overthrew Sir Frol. And then he rode his way a soft pace. Then Sir Lamorak rode after him, and he prayed him to tell him his name, for meseemeth ye should be of the fellowship of the Round Table. Upon a covenant, said he, I will tell you my name, so that ye will not discover my name, and also that ye will tell me yours. Then said he, my name is Sir Lamorak de Galis, and my name is Sir Launcelot de Lake. Then they put up their swords and kissed heartily together, and neither made great joy of other. Sir, said Sir Lamorak, an it please you, I will do you service. God defend, said Launcelot, that any of so noble a blood as ye be should do me service. Then he said, More, I am in a quest that I must do myself alone. Now, God speed you, said Sir Lamorak. And so they departed. And so Sir Lamorak came to Sir Frol and horsed him again. What knight is that? Said Sir Frol. Sir, he said, it is not for you to know, nor it is no point of my charge. Ye are the more uncourteous, said Sir Frol, and therefore I will depart from you. Ye may do as ye list, said Sir Lamorak, and yet by my company ye have saved the fairest flower of your garland. So they departed. All right, and now we have the last chapter of Sir Tristram's book. Chapter 41. How Sir Lamorak slew Sir Frol, and of the courteous fighting with Sir Belliance, his brother. Then, within 2 or 3 days, Sir Lamorak found a knight at a well sleeping, and his lady sat with him and waked. Right so came Sir Gawain, and took the knight's lady, and set her up behind his squire. So Sir Lamorak rode after Sir Gawain, and said, Sir Gawain, turn again. And then said Sir Gawain, What will ye do with me? For I am nephew unto King Arthur. Sir, said he, for that cause I will spare you. Else that lady should abide with me, or else ye should joust with me. Then Sir Gawain turned him, and ran to him, and aught the lady with his spear. But the knight with pure might smote down Sir Gawain, and took his lady with him. All this Sir Lamorak saw, and said to himself, But I revenge my fellow, he will say of me dishonor in King Arthur's court. Then Sir Lamorak returned, and preferred that knight to joust. Sir, said he, I am ready. And there they came together with all their might, and there Sir Lamorak smote the knight through both sides, that he fell to the earth dead. It's been a little while since we saw Gawain kind of get memed on, but he shows up and instantly gets his ass beat, which is just about right. Just about right. Then that lady rode to the knight's brother, that hight Belliance Leorgulus, that dwelt fast thereby. And then she told him how his brother was slain. Alas, said he, I will be revenged. So he horsed him, and armed him, and within a mile he overtook Sir Lamorak, and bade him, Turn and leave that lady, for thou and I must play a new play. For thou hast slain my brother, Sir Frol, that was a better knight than ever wert thou. It might well be, said Sir Lamorak, but this day in the field I was found the better. So they rode together, and horsed other, and turned their shields, and drew their swords, and fought mightily, as noble knights proved, by the space of 2 hours. So then Sir Belliance prayed him to tell him his name. Sir, said he, my name is Sir Lamorak de Galis. Ah, said Sir Belliance, thou art the man in the world that I most hate, for I slew my sons for thy sake, where I saved their life, and saved thy life. And now thou hast slain my brother Sir Frol. Alas, how should I be accorded with thee? Therefore defend thee, and thou shalt die, for there is none other remedy. Alas, said Sir Lamorak, full well me ought to know you, for ye are the men that most have done for me. And therewithal Sir Lamorak kneeled down, and besought him of grace. Arise, said Sir Belliance, or else thereas thou kneelest I shall slay thee. That shall not need, said Sir Lamorak, for I will yield me unto you, not for fear of you, nor for your strength, but your goodness maketh me full loath to have ado with you. Wherefore I require you, for God's sake, and for the honor of knighthood, forgive me all that I have offended unto you. Alas, said Belliance, leave thy kneeling, or else I shall slay thee without mercy. Then they yede again unto battle, and either wounded other, that all the ground was bloody thereas they fought. And at the last Belliance withdrew him aback, and set him down softly upon a little hill, for he was so faint for bleeding that he might not stand. Then Sir Lamorak threw his shield upon his back, and asked him what cheer. Well, said Sir Belliance, ah, sir, yet shall I show you favour in your malaise. Ah, knight Sir Belliance, said Sir Lamorak, thou art a fool. For an I had thee at such advantage as thou hast done me, I should slay thee. But thy gentleness is so good and so large that I must needs forgive thee mine evil will. And then Sir Lamorak kneeled down, and unlaced his first umbrere, and then his own, and then either kissed other with weeping tears. Then Sir Lamorak led Sir Belliance to an abbey fast by. There Sir Lamorak would not depart from Belliance till he was whole, and then they sware together that none of them should never fight against other. So Sir Lamorak departed, went to the court of King Arthur. Here leave we of Sir Lamorak and of Sir Tristram, and here beginneth the history of La Cote Male Tale. And that is the end of Book 8, and brings us to the beginning of Book 9, where we find La Cote Male Tale. So it seems the titular character of the last book is going to be a French name. And so we will suffer together. It's just the way it's going to be. Sorry. Not my choice. Just the way it happens. But it's kind of interesting how we didn't really get any closure to Tristram's story in Tristram's book. He ran off and got married with the second maiden who healed him of envenomed wounds, and he had more adventures and rescued Lamorak and made Sigwarides a lord, who was the husband of the first maiden, or first lady that he had to do with. Yeah, if Tristram just doesn't come up again, it will be incredibly frustrating. And it very well may be that he won't come up again in this volume. So maybe if he just shows up more in the second volume, I don't know. I have no idea how much of the second volume is going to be the quest for the Grail and Arthur's last war, the battles against Mordred and Morgan Le Fay. But there's got to be some for the questing and the random knights and their endings, we could say. Because we haven't even seen where, like, Lancelot was really starting to have his fling with the Queen. So there's a lot left of the mythos of Arthurian lore that we haven't seen yet. So the second volume has got to have some real, some of the more famous stories. So I can hope that we'll probably get some closure for Tristram. Or it'll be like any other soap opera and just leave story threads hanging. Because why not? Right? Why not? Why give closure when you could leave yourself a hook later? Don't mind that it's been several hundred years since then. And let it also be known that Sir Thomas Malory, when he was collecting all these stories into Le Morte d'Arthur, kind of pulled other folklore and tales and legends from other stories. And so the Cornish knight and Irish, both, that folklore was pulled in and co-opted into the Arthurian legend here, but it wasn't necessarily always that. I mean, if we notice that Tristram never was a Knight of the Round Table. He never made it to actually at Camelot. He had a lot of interactions with the Knights of the Table, and he was famous, but he was never actually one of them. So there's got to be more to it. But this is all sort of an amalgam of many different mythologies being brought into an Avengers-style team-up here in the 1500s. Yeah, exactly. Like, Lancelot was probably a French figurehead, and was brought in as we talked about last time, around the Norman Conquest, tied into the Arthurian lore, is brought up as the best knight of the world. And so tied in and anchored in British fiction So it's entirely possible that all these stories are intertwined and have their own roots, but are sort of forced together. If we can do it for comic books, they can do it back in the day for Legendary Knights. I see nothing wrong with that. Although, yeah, actually, that actually fits just about perfectly. So, the Morte de Arthur has been shonen anime, has been medieval soap opera, has been superhero MCU level team ups. It just keeps giving. And then, just not to mention, it's a Twilight tier fanfic. Sorry, that's just the way it is. I love Arthur as much as the next guy, but you gotta call a spade. I'm sorry. Alright. We've got about 15 minutes. So let's get a few chapters in here before we call it for the evening. We've got about, I'd say, 15% or so of the book left. Maybe a little bit more. A little less than 20, because I think the glossary starts around 90%, and we're at 73. So, we've got not too far to go. So this book will probably take us about 2 days and some change. So, let's get a couple chapters in tonight, and we'll see how much we have left, and then we'll go from there. And so, Book 9, Chapter 1. How a young man came into the court of King Arthur, and how Sir Kay called him in scorn La Cote Malte. Kay just has a way of pissing off everybody that shows up at the court. That's just what that is. There's not another way about that. Between Maine and now La Cote Malte. Let me just look this one up to see if it's oh yeah, so that's Kay, and by extension Malory. Why do you guys do this to me? So La Cote Malte is loosely translated to the badly cut coat, and it's probably Malay. There's not really an easy pronunciation there. It's alright. We'll figure it out. I'll butcher it. It wouldn't be a Arthur Reads if I didn't butcher a name. Particularly a French name. At the court of King Arthur, there came a young man and bigly made, and he was richly beseen, and he desired to be made knight of the king. But his overgarment sat overthwartly. Howbeit it was rich cloth of gold. What is your name? Said King Arthur. Sir, said he, my name is Bruenor Lenoir, and within short space ye shall know that I am of good kin. It may well be, said Sir Kay the Seneschal, but in mockage ye shall be called La Cote Malte. That is much to say, the evil-shapen coat. It is a great thing that thou askest, said the king, and for what cause wearest thou that rich coat? Tell me, for I can well think for some cause of it is. Sir, he answered, I had a father, a noble knight, and as he rode a-hunting, upon a day it happed him to lay him down to sleep. And there came a knight that had been long his enemy, and when he saw he was fast asleep, he all to hew him. And this same coat had my father on the same time, and that maketh this coat to sit so evil upon me, for the strokes be on it as I found it, and never shall be amended for me. Thus, to have my father's death in remembrance, I wear this coat till I be revenged. And because ye are called the most noblest king of the world, I come to you, that ye should make me knight. Sir, said Sir Lamorak and Sir Gaheris, it were well done to make him knight. For him beseemeth well of person and of countenance, that ye shall prove a good man and a good knight, and a mighty, for, sir, and ye be remembered, even such one was Sir Launcelot de Lake when he came first into this court. And full few of us knew from whence he came, and now is he proved the man of most worship in the world. And all your court and all your round table is by Sir Launcelot worshipped and amended more than by any knight now living. That is truth, said the king, and tomorrow, at your request, I shall make him knight. And on the morrow there was a hart found, and thither rode King Arthur with a company of his knights to slay the hart. And this young man that Sir Kay named La Cote Male Taile was there left behind with Queen Guinevere. And by sudden adventure there was a horrible lion kept in a strong tower of stone, and it happened that he at that time brake loose and came hurling afore the queen and her knights. And when the queen saw the lion, she cried and fled, and prayed her knights to rescue her. And there was none of them, all but 12 that abode, and all the other fled. Then said La Cote Male Taile, now I see well that all coward knights be not dead. And therewithal he drew his sword and dressed him afore the lion. And that lion gaped wide, and came upon him ramping to have slain him. And then he smote him in the midst of the head such a mighty stroke, that it clave his head in sunder, and dashed to the earth. And then it was told the queen how the young man that Sir Kay named by scorn La Cote Male Taile had slain the lion. With that the king came home, and when the queen told him of that adventure, he was well pleased, and said, upon pain of mine head, he shall prove a noble man and a faithful knight, and true of his promise. Then the king forthwithal made him knight. Now, sir, said this young knight, I require you, and all the knights of your court, that ye call me by none other name but La Cote Male Taile. In so much as Sir Kay hath so named me, so will I be called. I assent me well thereto, said the king. I guess if you're given a bad nickname, you might as well own it, right? It works. Chapter 2. How a damsel came into the court, and desired a knight to take him on in quest, which La Cote Male Taile emprised. Then, that same day, there came a damsel into the court, and she brought with her a great black shield, with a white hand in the midst holding a sword. Other picture was there none in that shield. When King Arthur saw her, he asked her from whence she came and what she would. Sir, she said, I have ridden long, and many a day with this shield many ways, and for this cause I am come to your court. There was a good knight that ought this shield, and this knight had undertaken a great deed of arms to achieve it. And so it misfortuned him, another strong knight met with him by sudden adventure. And there they fought long, and either wounded other passing sore, and they were so weary that they left that battle even at hand. So this knight that ought this shield saw none other way but he must die. And then he commanded me to bear this shield to the court of King Arthur, he requiring and praying some good knight to take this shield, that he would fulfill the quest that he was in. Now, what say ye to this quest? Said King Arthur. Is there none any of you here that will take upon him to wield this shield? Then was there not one that would speak one word. Then Sir Kay took the shield in his hands. Sir knight, said the damsel, what is your name? Wit ye well, said he, my name is Sir Kay the Seneschal, that wide where is known. Sir, said that damsel, lay down that shield, for wit ye well, it falleth not to you, for he must be a better knight than ye that shall wield this shield. Damsel, said Sir Kay, wit ye well, I took the shield in my hands by your leave for to behold it, not to that intent. But go wheresoever thou wilt, for I will not go with you. Damn, Kay got called out. Damsel sees him pick up the shield and is like, hey, you're not good enough for that. Kinda. Do we have ourselves another toxic damsel here? Then the damsel stood still a great while, and beheld many of those knights. Then spake the knight, La Cote Meltail, fair damsel, I will take the shield, and that adventure upon me. So wist I should know whitherward my journey might be. For because I was this day made knight, I would take this adventure upon me. What is your name, fair young man? Said the damsel. My name is, said he, La Cote Meltail. Well mayest thou be called so, said the damsel, the knight with the evil-shapen coat. But an thou be so hardy to take upon thee to bear that shield and to follow me, wit thou well, thy skin shall be as well hewn as thy coat. As for that, said La Cote Meltail, when I am so hewn, I will ask you no salve to heal me withal. And forthwithal there came into the court 2 squires, and brought him great horses, and his armor, and his spears, and anon he was armed, and took his leave. I would not by my will, said the king, that he look upon you that hard adventure. Sir, said he, this adventure is mine, and the first that ever I took upon me. And that I will follow whatsoever come of me. Then that damsel departed, and La Cote Meltail fast followed her after, and within a while he overtook the damsel, and anon she missaid him in the foulest manner. This is extremely reminiscent of Gareth. Beaumain. Come in, Kay gives him a nickname. The very day he's knighted, he goes off on a quest to do Lord knows what, followed by some damsel who thinks that he is just nothing to write home about. And so, we've got a spark here. This could be our second toxic damsel. We'll see. This could be good. Alright, let's get one more chapter in for the night, and then we will call it here. So, chapter 3. How La Cote Meltail overthrew Sir Dagonet, the king's fool, and of the rebuke that he had of the damsel. Ooh, rebuke. This gonna be good. Then Sir Kay ordained Sir Dagonet, the King Arthur's fool, to follow after La Cote Meltail. And there Sir Kay ordained that Sir Dagonet was horsed and armed, and bade him follow La Cote Meltail, and prefer him to joust. And so he did. And when he saw La Cote Meltail, he cried and bade him make him ready to joust. So Sir La Cote Meltail smote Sir Dagonet over his horse's croup. Then the damsel mocked La Cote Meltail, and said, Fie, for shame! Now art thou shamed in Arthur's court, when they send a fool to have ado with thee, and specially at thy first jousts. Thus she rode along, and chid. And within a while there came Sir Bloberus, the good knight, and there he jousted with La Cote Meltail, and there Sir Bloberus smote him so sore that horse and all fell to the earth. Then La Cote Meltail arose up lightly, and dressed his shield, and drew his sword, and would have done battle to the utterance, for he was wood wroth. Not so, said Sir Bloberus de Ganys, as at this time I will not fight upon foot. Then the damsel Maledicent rebuked him in the foulest manner, and bade him turn again, coward. Ah, damsel, he said, I pray you of mercy to missay me no more. My grief is enough, though ye give me no more. I call myself never the worse knight that a mare's son faileth me. And also, I count me never the worse knight for a fall of Sir Bloberus. So thus he rode with her 2 days, and by fortune there came Sir Palamedes, and encountered with him, and he in the same wise served him, as did Bloberus beforehand. What dost thou here in my fellowship? Said the damsel Maledicent. Thou canst not sit no night, nor withstand him one buffet. But if it were Sir Dagonet. Ah, fair damsel, I am not the worst to take a fall of Sir Palamedes, and yet great disworship have I none, for neither Bloberus nor yet Palamedes would not fight with me on foot. As for that, said the damsel, wit thou well, they have disdain and scorn to light off their horses to fight with such a lewd knight as thou art. So in the meanwhile there came Sir Mordred, Sir Gawain's brother, and so he fell in the fellowship with the damsel Maledicent. And then they came afore Castle Orgulus, and there was such a custom that there might no knight come by that castle, but either he must joust or be prisoner, or at the least to lose his horse and his harness. And there came out 2 knights against them. Sir Mordred jousted with the foremost, and that knight of the castle smote Sir Mordred down off his horse. And then La Cote Maltail jousted with that other, and either of them smote other down, horse and all, to the earth. And when they avoided their horses, then either of them took others' horses. And then La Cote Maltail rode unto that knight that smote down Sir Mordred, and jousted with him. And there Sir La Cote Maltail hurt and wounded him passing sore, and put him from his horse, as he had been dead. So he turned unto him that met him afore, and he took the flight toward the castle. And Sir La Cote Maltail rode after him into the castle Orgulus. And there La Cote Maltail slew him. Alright, that'll be all we read tonight. And this definitely feels a lot like Gareth and Beaumain. Although, so far, La Cote Maltail does not have the strength of arms that we saw out of Gareth early on. So, this may go another direction. It sort of feels like a what-if story, almost. What if Gareth was not such a great knight? Then we get La Cote Maltail. But that's not to say that he can't do anything on his own. He just took down 2 knights, one of which just beat Mordred, which Mordred is Gawain's brother or cousin, and Mordred is technically Arthur's son, as I recall. So there's some pedigree there. So there's more to meet the eye here with La Cote Maltail. And we'll find out more as we return to the story on Friday. I should hope on Friday. I've got a bit of some work to do on my car, and we'll see whether or not I'm able to make it on time. We'll see. I'll try. We start late enough that I should be okay. But keep an eye out on Bluesky, and I'll see if I need to have a delay this time around. But with that, we will call tonight an end. Thank you very much for joining us. We saw the end of Tristram's tale, at least such as was given to us. It wasn't really a good ending, I should say, but it was, well, it trailed off. It petered off. But we did see more of the soap opera, and Tristram is definitely up to antics. So we'll see what else he gets up to, probably in the 2nd volume. I'd be rather disappointed if that was all we ever heard of him. But maybe, we'll see. Tying up loose ends doesn't exactly seem to be the most important thing. Alright, that's enough yap out of me tonight. Let's go ahead and call it an evening. Thank you very much for joining us. I will endeavor to have everything lined up such that we can get back to our reading as scheduled on Friday. I'll update you if that tends to not be the case, and we'll find out. In any case, have a great night, everyone, and until next time.